Hi again, everybody. So in this part, what I'd like to do, and this is based off of the very helpful comments made in the Sunday night office hour. I'm going to try to explain things a little bit more and maybe make the videos a little bit longer to explain more details. As you can see on the screen, this is the annual trending table. And I've got the figures over here. Sorry, there are cars going by. Oh, it's a dump truck. That's nice. So this is with outliers included. How do we know? Well, we've got the full 387 here. We've got the 2.758 million. One thing that I had added is the 5-year average. It's kind of like a conservative comparison when the trends aren't great. Ours are okay. So what I basically did is took the 5-year average, so 2017 to 2021, and compared it to the 2-year because there is a 5-year gap or whatever between. And what we can see between the two is that things were higher in those first 2 years in every one of these categories. Higher average, higher overall. So things were worse for 2 years, and then for some reason, they either dropped the carrier or the carrier dropped them. That's my best guess. I don't think the data was lost. I think it was on purpose. And so they are performing better than they did back then, so that's a positive thing. But still, there's opportunity here. Okay, so that then we graphed it, and the number of claims appears to be going up from 2017, and we have a decent R-square value for our best fit line. When it comes to the cost, on the other hand, again, the outliers are included here, which can buoy or whatever you want to call bias, but it looks like that maybe the costs are going down. The medical, not as much as far as a rate comparison, but the overall total seems to be going down, which is a good thing. I mean, that's obviously, and the R-square values are pretty good, but we want to look at it with the outliers removed because we know that they can, one expensive claim. I mean, if there's one expensive claim here, but if we take it out and it drops down here, there's one expensive claim and it drops down here, all of a sudden we don't have this, what we'd like for a decline. Now, this should be extended into the future. I just didn't do that, the forecast. So let's go to the next one, which I had removed the outliers. And you should be comparing the pre and post table along with the figures. Still, with outliers removed, we still have that difference here. Oh, geez. I gotta fix that. I apologize. Okay, that's better. Make sure that's correct. It is. Their average is a little bit lower. The total paid is much closer. So there were outliers removed from these 2 years versus the 5 years. And I think some students have been focusing on that. And that's a good thing. I do think that we need to also look at the outliers and see how they break down. But I'm going to do that after I've completed my priorities. And so we will get to that. Some of you can look at it now. It's just when you have the priorities already set up, then it's easier to compare those things. Right now, all you can really do is compare what years they occurred. And so that doesn't give us a lot of insight. But I think this is really interesting that we remove 30. In my case, I removed 30 outliers, and now we've got an upward trend. The trend for 2023 is that with not considering the super expensive claims, so just the less expensive claims, they're going to have about 225,000. And if you recall, what's sort of the place in which what's expected, for loss ratio, they're expecting about this much. Of course, depending on when these things go up or down, that's still well below. They are looking to bring down the EMR by experiencing lower annual things. And so, we want to prevent the outliers, but the question is, are they different? In what way might they be different than the ones we have? That's the big question. And so for right now, how is the safety program performing? Well, there seems to be an increase in claims over the last 5 years, with and without outliers. The without outliers is a better line. Looks like it's going to be somewhere around 70 in 2023. And when we remove the outliers, it appears that the amount they're paying in claims per year is increasing. And in that case, we need to know, where should we focus our attention? Where we can get the biggest return on our investment for the safety program? Who do we need to talk to? What sort of cause do we need to focus on? That's the question we have now. Now that we know, I mean, if it was going down, we'd still look into it, but this should be something we can educate management. How does the safety program do? Well, all things considered, it looks like it's going down. However, did you know that if we take out this unique small subset of the most expensive claims, the trend reverses and it looks like things are going up? Which would, I mean, if frequency goes up, you would think costs would go up, but a few outliers. So we're going to study the outliers compared to the rest of the data because of this massive change. It's an interesting trend. I've seen it before, though. So after that, we went into accident location. We'll come back to this one here in a little bit. I think I have to get to my, here we go, the lecture video that I created. And I counted down to 25, but then at the bottom for the Pareto ratio, I was looking at it from the top 20%. And I looked at the top 10. I just did that because, or the top 7. I did that because of the natural break. Is this without outliers or with them in? I think it's with it in. I suppose I could just look right here and figure it out. It is with it in. So this is the rank, and you can look at the natural break and the risk priority number. That's meant to be a rank order, but the magnitude of it kind of tells us where we should stop looking. So there's a jump there, jump there, jump there, kind of the same, kind of a little bit of a jump. There's a jump. This is the biggest jump here, I think. And so top 7, there may be something special there. So I want to see what they represent, because in past semesters, other data sets, it's been a significant indicator of where we say, okay, these are our priorities. These are the most important. Let's focus on these for now and see what we can find. But sometimes the data set has other business and it's not as important. So here are the percentages here. The difference between the two, I think, is what's most significant. And that is when we take the top 7, it accounts for 50% and 28%. It's not enough. We need more. And so when I did 20%, which I believe is 18 of the accident department categories, we got up to 76% here, and we're at about 52%. So we would have to look at 18 different departments. That's a lot. You don't really usually like to see that. And so what did we learn? With outliers included, where's our 20%? It's right here. So 18. That, first of all, can we make any sort of heads or tails from a lot of these? Not really. I mean, warehouse, sales, I guess there's a little bit, but there's only one injury there. It doesn't help us. And the one that has the most is 28, and that's over 5 years. It's not a lot of data. Mix, sand. Did they forget the D? I don't know. Forklift, 16. So there may be something interesting here. Here's our dummy code where they didn't enter anything. So one thing, what we can take away from this, and I'm going to teach you how to do trend analysis with this anyway, show you that it's not great, that they need a different recording system for where the accidents are occurring or who they're occurring to. Is that the right term? Who's incurring them? That would be the better way to put it. When we take the outliers, when we remove the outliers, it did change a little bit. The ranks changed. I didn't sort it yet because I wanted to capture where the outliers were. Let's look at the top 18 here. So let's highlight this. So the top 20%, which is probably where we'd focus, though it's not great. I'll highlight so we can look at it. How much of the outliers are here? Well, let's, for fun, you guys are probably saying, this is your fun? Yes, it is. So let's add them up. Let's see how many we have in the top 20%. Equals sum. Remember, it's out of 30. We've got 23. What percent is that? 23 out of 30 is about 76%. That's interesting, right? That, okay, we're going to focus on the top 20%, which is 18 of the categories. And what's interesting is that it actually represented 76% of the outliers came from this top 20%, which to me is an indication that there's similarities here between frequency and severity. Let's add up the amounts and see what it represents and what percent it is. So that's that amount divided by, should we do it from, just the outlier amount? We should. And do I have that anywhere handy? No. It's going to be the sum of this stuff, and I didn't put it in there. All right, so, okay, I'm going to do something lazy. I'm going to do the 2,758,725, which is the total, and then subtract the this amount, because the difference is what was removed, and we're at 86%. So is there a difference? Just at this perspective, we're asking the question, if this is the only data you had, are the outliers different than the most frequent causes? No, because in those frequent by accident department, 76% of the outliers that were removed would fall under those 18 categories or departments, whatever you want to call them, and 86% of the outlier amounts would also fall into. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here. Percentage. I should have just done it. So, are they different? So far, I don't think so. I think they all kind of, if we were just to focus on these, we'd have a majority of the outliers considered, if you will. And that just leaves a small percentage. And if we were to go all the way to 25, top 25, you'd see we'd probably have 99%. There's only 2 missing for outliers. All right. So we discussed that. So I wanted to give you insight into the, what am I saying? Interpretation of the accident department. All right, let's copy this over, and we're going to do accident description. So the outliers are removed right now. I want them in because I want to do it with and without. Easy enough just to scroll to the bottom, highlight, hit Control X to cut, scroll up to the top. Should go faster. Okay, I'm gonna put this right here. Boink. There. Now we've got all of our information, and if we want to verify it, we just go down to our descriptives table, and we see we've got the whole amount there. Okay, if I'm going to be doing this here, I should change this to 387. Something I noted in a lot of your homeworks, that you have to make sure that that is accurate. Okay. Still have this. It's all updated the way it was. Here's our accident department. What we want to do is put the next set of analyses in between these two. So I'm going to open up some space. I actually don't know how much space I need right now, so I'm just going to put in all kinds of space. I needed 89 for the last one. And we're going to be using, hold on, I got to go up to the top again. I'm going to turn the top into a filter. And I'm going to filter by what I want to focus on so we can take a look at it. And it's accident source description. Let's just go A to Z. So we have a few missing. It looks like they're COVID related, so why don't we just bring that over? Copy. So we'll just call it COVID. Is there anything else missing? Just kind of scrolling through. Oh, that's just something that could be fixed. Scrolling. Just looking for a gap. No, okay, hey, not a big deal. So let's here, I'm going to do it right from here, okay? I had created a pivot table tab before. What I'm going to do is just try to capture what all the entries are under accident description. So here's what we do. We highlight all the data, including the header row. Go to Insert. So File, Home, Insert. Furthest on the left says Pivot Table. Click on it. It's going to say, oh, do you want to make it from here to here and on a new worksheet? Yes, I do. And there we be. Now I have to figure out what I want to put in there. So accident description is what, accident source description, I think that's what it is, right? That's going to be my rows. If you put it as rows, then it'll list them all out. If I wanted to count them, I could put in unique identifier for values. But instead of sum, I got to go to the value field. I'll put in count. So 387. So here's the answer right here. But I only use this, and I mean, I could actually have them added up and figure out, instead of the values for the identifier, I could put in total paid and look at it there. There it is. Hearing loss is 0. Interesting. Gas and fume is 0. But I'm only using it to capture these. Okay? Copy. I didn't do the grand total this time. I did that the other night. What tab are we in? Because I want to go to here, right? No, that's accident department. That's accident department. That's that. And is it right here? No, accident department. No outliers. I'm doing maybe this. Yeah, I think this is what I did. Yeah, I should have this stuff better labeled. I know. You're yelling at me right now. Please, just give me a break. Okay, here we go. I'll be bringing up a header in a second. So I'm going to paste. Okay, there's room. Pasted all of my accident descriptions here. I'm going to then copy the header. Copy. And put it right here. But then I got to put in another space. Insert. Okay, that didn't do anything wrong. I need to put in a total, and I'm going to have to do some Pareto analysis. So I'm going to give myself just a few more spots. I did insert and I did Control Y. Here's my totals. And now I can go up and over. Very good. Let's do this in 8-point font maybe for now. Just so stuff kind of fits in a little bit better. This thing's jumping around. Come on, you guys. It's not the end of the third quarter at a Badger game. I don't know if you guys got that joke or not. I thought that was funny. Humor is good. So here's all the accent departments. So now what we need to do is, it's obviously not Q, column Q. It's column M. See, accident source description. I just called it accident description. Oop, I called it accident department. Accident source description. Go ahead and just type her all out, and it's under M. But everything else is the same. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this whole thing. Oh, not that whole thing. Just up to there. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to paste it. I'm going to get rid of the yellow. And you see when I click on this, it is Q2 to Q388 and then P, let's see, P421. If I was to double click. Okay, so it's right there. What I want to do is change the Q's into M's. So delete, turn into M, and delete and turn into M. Boom, got it. And this is still qualifying. I'll click on this and drag it down. All right, let's check our work. See, it's like cheating. As long as you line everything up. Do it once. That's what I always say. Give it the old college try. Oh, why did I put time? I'm thinking of what I'm going to do next, and it's all right. There we go. There we go. That's correct. So let's change these now. So we got to change the Q to M because it was Q on the accident department. Everything else looks good, right? So let's drag that over to here. And average claim. That doesn't look right. Oh, no, that is right. There's only one. Drag it down to here. What's interesting is when you do check your work, it's like we've looked at the totals so many times. It's like you kind of recognize it right off the bat. Looking for that 2758725. Yep. We will get these all set up. We should have 7128. And these, of course, are the same thing. We don't go all the way down to there. All right, so now we got to rank them. So we have to highlight our data, not the totals or not the header row. So I highlight this data. I go up to data. Instead of going filter, I'm going to go sort. And I'm going to sort by RPN, high to low, because it's a rank order. Largest to smallest. So see, all these things are still the same, but it gave me a different rank. So now I'm going to rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for now. My phone buzzed. Okay, let's count the number of things we have here. These are the number of accident source entries. No, categories. Number of categories. And we've got 27. So let's figure out what those are from a percentage perspective. So this is equal to whatever number divided by the total, which is 27. I'm going to turn this into a percentage and make it small. What's up, Humphrey? My dog's sitting next to me in my office. It looks like he's just getting comfortable. Got the window open, he's sleeping. Oh, to be a dog. A day like today. There we go. So, top 20%. What's our top 20%? It would be between 5 and 6. Let's run it over and see what happens. And let's see what the difference is. Yeah, there's quite a jump between there and there. That's almost twice what that is. Do we have another twice? Kind of that too. Let's go to... Oh, look, there's a big jump there after 10. So... It's about a third. That's about a third. And then it gets pretty consistent. There's about a third. I like even numbers. Let's look at top 10. Is that, what is that? 40%? Yeah, 37%. So we'll do two of them. We'll do the top 20 and I'll take 5 and then I'll do 10. So top 5, top 10. Top 5, top 10. And this is about 18 point something percent. Dang it. 18.5%. Where did I put that? There we go. 18.5%. And this wood is 37%. Yeah. I did that by doubling it. Yeah. All right, here we go. Equal sum. We're going to add up the top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to add up the top 10. Sum. Again, we're doing a Pareto analysis here. We're trying to get up to 80%. Shrink, shrink. Shrink-a-dink. All right, here we go. We don't do it with average. Let's turn these into percentages. Oh, got 87 right there. I'll turn these into currency. I'll copy and paste this. Copy and paste. Oh, interesting. So between 5 and 10 is an acceptable range for our priority for this. The Pareto. Pass me the Pareto. So we got to figure out where we want to stop it or end it. I'm kind of leaning towards top 5 to see where it goes. Let's see, what do we got for totals? Yeah, well, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to remove the outliers and find out what the dealio is. All right. So we got to copy and paste. Duh. I'm like, should I just start removing things? And paste it. And now we got to sort. Okay, turn the header row into a filter. Total paid, high to low. So we can remove our outliers. Largest to smallest. Highlight the rows all the way down to 30. Make sure you get it right. Control X to cut. My phone's ringing, but I'm not going to answer it. It's nothing. It's nobody. We notice your car insurance is running out. That's probably what it would be. All right, let's look up here and see what happened. Let's see here. How much did this change? It changed a little bit. Let's do the numbers. I got to zoom in so you can see. This what I'm doing here is something I kind of made up. We would look at it later anyway, but I think it's interesting to do it now. So I'm going to take the original number of claims, subtract the new number between the two. That's the outlier. So go over here and click on the count, and then subtract it. Go back to my sheet to this count here. All right. So there were 6 outliers removed from the number 1. We'll run that all the way down, see where it ends. Okay, interesting. Let's do the amount. Equal, go back one tab and click on the total paid for the number one. And we're going to subtract what it is now. See how much it is. Center it, drag it down. Isn't that interesting? So remember what I did before and I was seeing what it represented? Do we still have the Pareto down here? Let's see. I got to do a total. Copy. Paste. That was wrong. This is supposed to be a sum. Okay, it's 28.72. So we are 19.84% of 28.71. So let's see what it's really representing. But I got to do it again. And that's probably going to be like 99%. Get rid of some decimal points because it's too big. And don't make it so gargantuan. We're at 69.1. So the top 5 still seems very attractive to me. So let's see what the top 5 is. Let's add them up. Equal sum of the number of outliers, 1 to 5. It is 20 divided by 30. So the top 5 represents 66.7% of the outliers that were removed. And let's add up the amount that was removed and divide it by, I wish I could know what it is, but it's 2,758,725 minus what's left over. And it's 77%. So when we look at it from the accident source description, are the outliers different than our top 5 rank? No, because the top 5, which represent 18.52%, so the Pareto, they represent a majority, 66.7 and 77.4% of the outliers that were removed. That's interesting, right? I was going to say significant, but there's really no statistics to it. But that's interesting. Remove the most expensive claims, but they fall into this top 5. This is top 5, which is actually, 18.5% of the categories. That's interesting. That's something you'd want to report, right? It just, we're going to look at the outliers in the next video, but for right now, between this right here, we're 66.67 and 77.63, and this was the top, was this the 20% as well? 18, top 20%? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Top 18 or 20% represented 76.7 and 86.19. 76. I think that's really interesting. This is initial indication that there is no real big difference. There may be for a small portion of the outliers. We don't know which ones, but we'll be looking into that. So what we have here is we have some things we're going to focus on. I'm kind of leaning towards the top 5. Instead of yellow, should make it green because green means go. Repetitive motion, fall, slip, trip on same level, lifting, lowering, caught in, struck by against object. Now, let's focus on the average per claim. The thing is, these are low though, because we removed the indemnity. So, this is the original, but it may be different. Well, definitely those 4. This may fall out. Let's go back 1. So let's go back here. Let's look at the averages here and see how we compare to Shoot. I wonder if I still have it up on my screen. So like repetitive motion, or that's because is that our number one? Most expensive is fall, slip, trip on same level. That one's 14,000. That's about 15,000. So if I open up my web browser, hey, this is 2018. Of course, the data we're looking at is many, many years worth. Overall average in Wisconsin was about 10,000. We want to find slip, trip, fall, same level. Here's fall, slip, trip. Here's different level, same level. 10,787. We are 14,000. Ours are more expensive on average, but that includes outliers, right? If we remove the outliers for the fall, slip, trip, same level, we go down to 3,900. Do you see the effect here that outliers have? I mean, again, they're all up here, so these are going to go down. But the Wisconsin numbers, these definitely include outliers. So they're going to be as high as they can possibly be. These are very exaggerated. I shouldn't say very. They are exaggerated, skewed, biased, however you want to say it, averages. And it says average indemnity calculated per claim. And so this definitely means lost time if it's indemnified. Otherwise, it'd be medical only, right? What was the other? Repetitive? I think repetitive motion is under rubbed or abraded by. We don't want that. We want, I think, under miscellaneous repetitive motion. Yeah, $8,000 or $8,022. What did we have? Repetitive motion. Okay, we're way below there. Let's go to with our outliers in. 7,400. So we're below it. So we're above on this. We're below on that. Let's go one more. Lifting, lowering. We're having fun. We get strain. We've got lifting. Do we have lowering? No. So we'll just stick with lifting. The average is 8,100. What was ours? We're above. Caught in between object. This is an expensive one. Not the moat. Ooh, look at that. Fall, ladder, scaffold. There's only one, though. That was definitely an outlier then. Okay, what was I talking about again? Caught in. Okay. Caught in, on, under, between object. Let's go back. Let's see. Is there a caught in? Here it is. Caught in, under, between, not otherwise classified. It's 9,282. Ours is 16,000. Of course, if we go to outliers removed, it goes down to 2,100. See, I assume that the state data, if they were to separate out the medical only from the indemnified or a few extremes, these numbers would become more realistic. But we're even higher on some of them with our outliers in. Remove the outliers and they lower. That's the lesson I want you to learn. So go to DWD. Here I'll show you since we're on the screen. I'm going to search for Wisconsin Department of Workforce Development. I know this is getting long, but some students said they like them longer when I explain things. DWD, you go under workplace injury, you go to workplace safety, and then we scroll to the bottom, and there should be a injury statistics under resources, and then we come to the page that has this stuff. So I had open 2018, and you could get older ones if you wanted to. Injuries within calendar years, year of injury. These are really old, though. There's a little bit of other stuff here, but this will give you some things to compare. So please do that. Do that with this here. Compare some things we have. Look at what the outliers represent for what we consider our Pareto. It was the top 5 here, and the other one I believe was top 20% or 18, which is too many. But top 5, we could do that. That's acceptable. All right, that's it. Let me know if you have any questions. In the next one, we're going to create a new cause code which combines some similar things here. Because we've got a slip, trip, fall, we got a slip, trip, fall, we got a slip, trip, fall. We're going to combine all those. Repetitive motion, lifting, lowering, those are going to be combined. Okay,